Cage Minds? It's Fight Week, Southwest Brawl 10 in Las Cruces, New Mexico, the Las Cruces Convention Center. Joining us right now on the telephone, one half of the main event, Randy McCarty. How you doing, sir?
Good, man, and yourself?
I'm doing good. Heard that you're not in Las Cruces right now when we're talking to you.
Nope, I'm in California.
So where are you?
Oceanside, California.
And is this a training expedition, a day job? What's going on?
So my day job is sending me for training for my work, and then I'm also using it at the same time to train here with some high-level guys.
So do you want to give away the secret? Where are you working out at right now?
I'm working out at the compound with Sean Loeffler. He's a UFC vet, Bellator vet, has over 150 fights. I don't know exact amount. That's why I'm just leaving it at 150.
Yeah, no.
More than that. But solid man and good gym, so training there.
All right. Now, this fight recently, I'm not sure when you saw it, but I saw it a little bit ago. There was a change in opponents. Originally announced we're going to rematch Manuel Otero in the main event for the AFL Heavyweight title. Now it's AFL Light Heavyweight title bout against Roman Alcantar. So we got a whole world of difference for you. When did you find out?
Yeah, I found out 2 weeks from now. So it's 3 weeks before the fight. I found out I had a change in opponent, and it's totally different from 5'9" to 6'1" or 6'2", whatever he is, and from a guy that was basically a brawler and no ground game to a guy that's slick on the ground and solid on his feet as well.
And what about the change in weight class? You were going to be competing there at heavyweight. Now it's 205. How big of a difference is that for you?
Not a major difference. I was close. Like, my biggest worry was because it's 5 rounds, I was going to have to keep the weight on. I was just the workout I need to do to get myself ready for 5 rounds. I knew I was going to be close to 205 already. So making sure that I was not below 206 for a title fight as a heavyweight, I was more concerned about that than having to make 205. So.
And for heavyweight, for a title fight, did you need to be around 225?
No, I just had to be above 206. So then that was the thing I was concerned about. So I'll be okay for the fight. I'm cutting some weight, but nothing major. And Roman's from a solid camp, so I know that he's going to be game to fight. He'd been preparing for a fight that fell through and coming off of an injury. So I know those things, but I've cornered against him, I believe, when Billy Colon fought him.
But not too much specifics on your thoughts of what will work for you or what will be best?
Well, since I've last seen him, I've gotten better in jiu-jitsu. I have a second-degree black belt that's been training me. I just got my black belt like 4 weeks ago now, and 3 weeks ago, something like that. And I'm training better on the ground. My stand-up is solid. So my biggest thing is to go in there and take care of business as cleanly as possible. Expect 5 rounds and look for the stoppage at any point.
What has it taken to get you to this level, to this point?
Probably a lot of mistakes, learning how to work my cardio in timing and everything. You want to be peaking, whenever you're getting ready for a fight, and sometimes you don't. And this is my 30th pro fight boxing and MMA together, and so I've learned a lot throughout the years to be able to. Hopefully, I hope it comes through, but prepare myself so that I peak at the right time, so that I'm not still have more potential that I need to get to, or gassing out or anything like that.
So it's almost a welcome change for this to be light heavyweight than heavyweight.
Yeah. I mean, well, yes, I took the heavyweight basically because Mono said he wasn't Mono said he wasn't going to cut weight. I was expecting to do a 205 anyway, and then he says, "No, I'm not cutting weight." And I'll take a guy that's 5'9" and 235. I'll take that fight hands down because I'm longer than him, and he hasn't fought as much as I have recently, so I have less rust, and it would have been a good fight for me. So that's why I accepted it at heavyweight. I wouldn't accept a heavyweight championship against the champion heavyweight, you know. And so this is exciting to me that I'm able to go for the AFL championship. I had a 3-fight contract. This is my 3rd fight with them on that, and so I'm excited that they've taken care of me the way they have, and that we're going to be able to make a show in Cruces that sounds really exciting. Not just for my fight, but a lot of the other fighters there. It seems like it's going to be a really tough and exciting fight, and it's sold out.
I believe last time that I had an update on the card, it was hovering around 16, 18 fights. So it looks like it's going to be a stacked night. You're out of town training for work. How strange of an experience it's going to be. What's it like for you? What's your timeline? Are you done working to go home to fight, or do you leave training to go fight? What's happening?
I know I get done with work, and then after work, Sean was really cool with me and just gave me a key to the gym and says, anytime I need to go to the gym, just go. And so that's not something that you normally get, especially not from in your home gym, you know. So it's really a blessing, basically, to have him help me and open up the doors, and then also use his time. He's a 3rd-degree black belt in jiu-jitsu, and he's helped just giving his time into helping me and looking up my opponent and doing what we can to prepare myself.
It's a title fight. It's your 3rd fight of the contract with AFL, and you're out of town at a new gym training. So does this feel like a different experience, a different kind of camp?
Oh yeah, I've been in a lot of flux lately. I used to fight for Daryl Schoonover and Red Spider, and that he stepped away and is no longer a coach, and so I've been kind of in flux, figuring out what all I'm going to do, staying at Briggs MMA, training with him, working on fights, going all over the country, New York, Colorado, and Arizona, fighting in Mexico. And so it's been kind of crazy anyway, but then having work puts you in a position where I'm out of town. I don't have my normal stuff that I got to do, but that's okay. I'm not fighting a normal fight. I'm fighting 5 rounds, and I need to get myself ready for
it. And talking about the work schedule, when you're done working, are you able, like, for fight week, here we are you coming back to Las Cruces and you're able to do fight week, or are you still in California having to work?
I'm going to be in California till Thursday, and then I fly home, and Thursday night, weigh in Friday, fight Saturday, fly back home, back to work over here on Sunday.
Talk to me about your love. Why you do this? Why you want to compete in these sports? You have the full-time job, and you're making that kind of effort.
I've always loved fighting. I've always loved the competition of it. I grew up as a karate kid. My dad taught me karate all my life, and I competed when I was younger in karate. But after a while of just doing touch points type stuff, I was bored with that. And then when I did my first amateur MMA fight, afterwards everybody's like, "So what do you think? What do you think?" Because I had told them before that I didn't know if I was going to do this forever or not. I just wanted to at least try it. And I knew I needed more cardio, and that's what I told them. I need more cardio. And I was so dead. I beat the guy in the 2nd round, and I don't think I could have done a 3rd round in that fight. And now I'm doing 25 minutes worth of fighting. And so it's a challenge to myself. I know I'm 45 years old. I know that a lot of companies, I'm glad that AFL has supported me in this, but I know a lot of companies go, "Oh, wow, well, Randy's willing to fight, but he's 45. We don't really want to put investment into him." But my goal is a minimum of 50 fights. So I have another 20 fights to go that I want to fight in before I'm done. So at the very minimum. So I just like the challenges of it. I like being able to apply the skill sets that I've learned and see if I'm able to apply them against somebody else that is adjusting to me.
And you feel you have that in you right now? You're still feeling good enough, happy enough with the sport, motivated enough that you have 20 fights left in you just all together because there's so many different factors?
Absolutely. I really enjoy it a lot. I have a lot of fun fighting, and that's kind of what's cool about this fight is Roman's camp. I've fought on the same cards as him. I've fought against his teammates. I've cornered against him personally. So they know me, no doubt they know me, and I know him somewhat. He's changed a lot. He's been out for like a year and a half, I think. So I know he's changed things, and I'm not going to doubt that it's not going to be a tough fight or anything like that. I'm not smug like that. I know that anybody that I go in there with can hurt me. And so I'm excited about being able to see the person that knows me, see if they can exploit some things that I've been weak at, or if I've fixed those things.
Also, on that level of what you've been working on, seen you've been out in Arizona quite frequently a couple times. I've seen even photos of you, I believe, up here at Latrell's. So it's been a plethora of different gyms you've stopped by in the recent months, right?
Yes, I fought up in New York in February, and Latrell's gym was there. Latrell was there himself, and he says, if you want to come to our gym, I have some things that I could show you. I'd gladly do it. I know that more than likely one day, if I have another 20 fights, I'll probably have an option of fighting one of his guys. And I have no problem with that. I don't train with them permanently, but I appreciate that they open up their doors and allow me to train there and work with me. And they're not doing anything other than being welcoming and letting me punch them and them punch me and grapple with them. It's really cool. And then I go to Fight Ready. I try to go 3 to 4 times a year in Phoenix, and I train up there. That's where Henry Cejudo and Frankie Saenz, both from the UFC, train, and I train over there with them all the time.
And what's that experience like?
It's cool because they have a lot of high-level guys, and they're always excited. They always set up stuff. I text them and say, "Hey, man, I'm planning on going to Phoenix on this date." And they go, "Well, we got this guy, and this guy. We'll be ready for you." And then they go over there and they let those guys beat up on me, and I get to beat up on them and learn some things. And it's really if I lived in Phoenix, that's where I'd go to train, 100%.
Do you consider yourself to have like a warrior mentality, or is it more of a ninja samurai mentality?
I guess that all depends on what you consider that. I guess in some ways a samurai type thing, because I'm not like warrior and I'm gonna kill you. I hate you. I smile while I'm punching you. You've seen pictures of me. I'm a happy fighter. So, but I don't know. I wouldn't think I'd have to think about that for quite a bit before I answered that fully.
Yeah, see, because that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, you're kind of too nice and too happy to share your trait. Oh, they punch me, I punch them. That's not some of these killer warrior crazy mentalities that you see in the game sometimes.
Right, and that's why I was saying I probably would lean more towards the other way. I just don't see myself as I'll knock you out. I have no problem knocking somebody out, but I knocked out my best friend. One of my best friends. I put him down, and he tells the story all the time. He goes, "Yeah, we sparred for like 30 minutes afterwards, and I didn't remember any of it." And I feel bad that he didn't remember any of it, but I didn't know I really knocked him out. I just dropped him, and then he got up and kept fighting, and he don't remember any of it.
The love of punching each other and the bonds that builds, right?
Yeah, for sure. You're very strong in afterwards. Like me and Chino fought, I don't know, 4 years ago, I guess. And we clicked. Like, it was one of the best fights I've ever had. But since then, every time he's in town, we train together. We work out hard together. He's a good dude. And I respect him as a fighter and as a person.
And now coming into this fight, fighting again at home. When was the last time you fought there? Was it the last time you fought there? Was it the last Southwest Brawl event?
I believe so. Yes.
You, as the love
About
of being an entertainer, how special is it getting back in the cage there in Las Cruces?
I love it. I have a blast. I have people from work come out, and I have friends from town and fans and all that stuff that come out and watch. And it's really neat to me to have that because in Cruces is the only place that people really know me. Normally, when I go somewhere else, I'm the guy that they all boo, and then I go out there and I do my dance and I have fun and I'm fighting. And like I was in Laredo and this guy yelled at the other guy. His name was Ricky, and he's like, "Come on, Ricky, make him do the worm again." And I looked at him. I go, "Right?" And the whole crowd started laughing, and I kept fighting, and I had a good time and I won. But the crowd just loved the fact that I was personable and everything, and I was able to get to have fans that way. But here in town, I already know I have fans. I already have people that's going to be cheering me like crazy. So it's exciting to have whenever you have the backing as well.
And what kind of added motivation does it give hearing it's the title fight?
Oh, a huge amount. I've fought for 2 other title fights. The first one I probably should have said no to, but I was 4 fights into my pro career, and I was 3-1, and they offered me a pro championship fight, and I was like, "Oh yeah!" I was all excited that I'd take that. I shouldn't have taken it. The dude was a solid jiu-jitsu guy, and I knew that, so I was going to try and stay off the ground with him, and I didn't. And he won. And then the other one, I felt I got robbed in, but it doesn't matter if you feel or whatever. It's what the judges say. And I took Ryan Spann all the way to the end. I took him to the very last minute of the round, and I'm the only one that has ever done that with him. He's knocked everybody out or submitted everybody in the first round, except for one other person, I believe. So I think he's only lost 3 fights, but I was really motivated for that fight because it was a championship fight. It's for a $50,000 contract, and I'm very motivated for this fight as well. It's very exciting to know that it's not just, I won a fight, but I'm winning a fight that calls me a world champion.
And yeah, quick look, I think he's only been in one other decision, and that's in the UFC against Luis Enrique. That was recently. So, yeah, that's definitely... Damn, I wish I could have seen that fight. That must have been a crazy one.
It was. He broke my nose sideways. It looked like a cross in the first round, and then he punched my nose. It split the cartilage out, and then he punched it again and pushed the cartilage back in. I broke his arm in the second round. He didn't tap, and with an arm bar, and he would not tap. And then he worked his way out of it and kept fighting. And the third round, because my nose is all broken, my hands were all trapped, so I breathed a little blood onto him, and he let go of my hand, and I punched him, and we went back and forth, and then it was an exciting fight, that was for sure.
You've had 30 of these wars. Not calling you a Boy Scout, but does it almost feel like that, like with the sash, with like the badge of honor? You have these memories.
Yeah, I guess so. I had a guy that said that I was I don't remember what it was called, but it was a guy that they just take fights and take fights and take fights. And I knew he was saying it in his interview like as if I was a joke or somebody that he shouldn't take seriously. But I know that I love fighting and I love the war of it. So those memories are really cool to me, and I don't take that as a joke. I take that as something special. I'm not taking stupid fights. I have, but I'm not taking stupid fights now, and I'm learning from my mistakes, hopefully, and moving forward so that I'm a solid danger to people. That's what I really don't want in my career. If you want to call it a career, my goal is not to get to the UFC or get to Bellator. I'd love to fight in those organizations or LFA even, but that's not my goal. My goal is to have a blast and to test myself and to be relevant. if I'm not relevant in the fight game as a fighter, I shouldn't fight anymore. If I'm just somebody that's easy to fight, then I shouldn't fight anymore.
How do you make another big memory on Saturday night?
Probably submit the submitter. He submits a lot of people in his fights. It'd be fun to submit him.
And you felt training with second, third degree black belts that your game is evolved to that place where you feel he's kind of known for that in Mexico, submitting guys. You think you can accomplish that and submit him?
No doubt. I'm not going to take away from him. He's a solid dude, and I know I can drop him. I know I can put him to sleep, but I also know that I can submit him. They're not just second and third degree black belts. I mean, they're second and third degree black belts that have both fought and in MMA, have been solid fighters, both of them. So that's exciting to me. That it's not just okay. I can know how to submit somebody with a gi or no gi, these types of things, but it's fight jiu-jitsu. You know, it's definitely different, way different than just a competition.
Saturday night, American Fight League crowns a light heavyweight champion at Southwest Brawl 10. The last man to enter the cage will do so dancing. Randy McCarty, who do you need to thank? Who do you want to shout out to?
I definitely want to say thank you to all my coaches, physical and food coaches, and my nutritionist. I should say, that sounds fancy. I want to thank Briggs MMA for opening their door to me and allowing me to work with them. I want to thank Sean Loeffler and the compound for allowing me to train while I'm here. My sponsors, I always want to thank them. There's no real new sponsors on this one. I have one, I should say, Riviera Ortho, and my other sponsors. I really want to tell you thank you for being so faithful to me and helping me out so much. Like the Horizon Clinic, they do chiropractor, keep me adjusted and keep me healthy. They do all my blood work and my eye exam, set up all that stuff for me, and I really appreciate them helping me in the ways they do.
Awesome, sir. Best of luck Saturday night. It's a title fight, Las Cruces, New Mexico. Get ready for Southwest Brawl.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time.